Okay, so this is the next part telling you about me being uprooted from Rock Hill, South Carolina, from the Mill Hill, Spring Street, going to Sullivan Middle School, was Sullivan Junior High at that time, and having to move to Ohio. I did not like it. I didn't want to go. I only had uh 3.5 more years of school to go, and I could be done. But got to go where Mama's at, cause who knew where my daddy was? He had done remarried several times, and he was relocated. I think he was in Alabama with his new wife. But when I got to Ohio, y'all, we lived in a little tiny Amish town. I got to meet Amish people. I got to meet Mennonite people. And I can't tell you too much about it, except all I know is I was told it was a type of religion. They were very religious people, very good people, good hearted people, very humble. Some of them, I don't know which ones, okay? They didn't believe in electricity, they didn't believe in cars, all this kind of thing. The men had to shave all the time until they got married. When they got married, they could let their beard grow. I mean, stuff like that. And they rode horse and buggies. The town I lived in is called Hartville, 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 Ohio. That's where I graduated high school. When I got to Ohio, y'all, I ain't never seen so much snow in my life. There was a blizzard that hit. The blizzard of 77, January. That's what we moved in. And culture shock. The reason I'm telling all this to y'all is not for you to say, oh, pitiful her, or oh my God, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to show you how my life was guided through all these places and all these different types of walks of life, different people, different geology or demographics. Um, I get to Ohio, have to start school there, and they are so far ahead of our schools in South Carolina that I was behind. And I was an honor roll student in Rock Hill at Sullivan. And I was making C's in Ohio, and I was crying every time I got my report card because I was trying so hard to catch up. Now, I don't know what happened, but maybe I caught up good. I ended up graduating early. I was able to be a January graduate, and so I finished school early. But then I couldn't get a job, y'all, because I wasn't 18 yet. So I just had to sit at home or go get me a little part time job somewhere, working at a department store or something. I think I did that. But I couldn't get a regular job. I went to go work for a law office. I was going to be a paralegal there. And they had hired me, and they said, "You're not 18. We can't hire you yet." So I lost out on that. Now, that job was in Canton, Ohio, working for a law firm. Boy, would my life have been different if they had hired me. So I don't know. That was just a reason for it. But anyway, um, long story short, I have met and know people from all over the place because of where my life took me. Back in the 80s, y'all know if you lived back then, the economy went to pits. Y'all think it's bad now? What do you do when the economy is so bad you have to move to another state to work? And I ain't talking just crossing the state line here in Rock Hill to go into Charlotte. I'm talking about from the north in Ohio all the way to near Galveston, Texas. Yeah, that's what the family did. So it was my mom, my stepdad, my baby brother Matt, who was 2.5, 3 years old, and my brother Kenny, who had not even graduated high school yet. He was in the 10th grade. Okay. So my husband and I, we relocated with them because the jobs here, my ex husband at the time, he was working for Springs Industries here, as a mill worker, and they were cutting his hours and all kind of stuff. A lot of the mills were closing. All of the jobs were being sent overseas and things like that. It was really bad. If you're like young, if you're a millennial, whatever, look up on Google, say meals in South Carolina in the 80s. You'll see that, or shutting down or something like that, because it was bad, y'all. Anyway, so now here I am all the way from cold Ohio to hot as Hades, Texas, right outside of Houston. That's where we lived. And we rented an apartment. All right, so all y'all apartment dwellers, I know how you feel. We started out on the bottom floor because I didn't want to do them stairs, 30 steps straight up to the top row. And they weren't townhouses, okay? They were just apartments. So we started on the bottom. But y'all, every time those stairs were metal. So every time somebody went up and down those stairs, all hours of the night, there's four, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the stairs are up right in the middle of them. I heard it click, 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 stomp, 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 stomp. Every time somebody come in the driveway, every time somebody left, I thought I would lose my mind. I hated it. I hated it. So we asked the manager after our first 6 months was up, can you give us a second story? So we finally switched to the second story upstairs. That was better. But, it was still aggravating because now you had to haul all your groceries up and down, up and down every day. I probably needed exercise, but up and down, up and down. I was like, I can't stand this. And on top of that, y'all, it gets cold down there in the winter. And it gets hot, hot, hot in the summer. I hated it. So, told my husband, my ex-husband, we got to go back home. His family was in Fort Mill. Mine was in Rock Hill, Monroe, Fort Mill. So we put our minds together and we figured out how to do it. And we moved back to Rock Hill. But guess what, y'all? Had to move in with family again. Mm-hmm. So long story short, I've been all over. Y'all want to know why I sound the way I sound? I tell people I'm a hodgepodge. I'm like a little mutt. I've been from South Carolina, North Carolina, Ohio, all the way down to Houston, Texas, and back to Rock Hill. And from the ninth grade to, well, what's that, 14? I don't know. In less than 6 years, I was between two states, North and South. That messed me up. Anyway, so, and then of course life happens. So then after that, I told you in my first or second video, my resume, how I got to where I'm at, how I got into real estate. So let me look at my notes, see what I've not told y'all. Um, talked about that, talked about the customers, talking about working in transportation, talking to people on the phone overseas, um, you know, truck drivers coming in and out when I was in logistics. If I worked at the one in Charlotte, the truck drivers would come in and get their paperwork and all that, and I'd get to meet them and talk to them, and they'd be from everywhere, y'all. And if I was when I was at Transaxle Manufacturing, I was in the office, so all my stuff was by phone. I did not work in the shipping department; another girl did, but I'm the one that arranged everything, like what trucks to use, what airlines to use, what overnight delivery, same day delivery. I was the one that did all that. Okay, so I was always on the phone with people. All right, so let me see here. Point being, truck drivers, thank you. They keep everything running, y'all, and they are from all walks of life. They deserve to have a home. Those apartment dwellers, they deserve to have a home. Those single mamas or their single daddies struggling, they may be widows. Who knows? I think they might get a check. If they're not widows, they ain't getting no check unless they got a good ex-spouse. And then they got to get the courts involved. I know about all of it, y'all, because I done been through it. Okay, that's the point I'm trying to make with these videos. I've been there and done that. Okay. Um, and this is one of the reasons I wanted to be in real estate. I wanted to help people, right? So this has been 10 minutes. Now go to the next video. I want to tell you a few more things. Hopefully it won't be as long. Thanks for watching.